Kia ora tātou ko, Andrew Doubleday aho. Today we're considering the lectionary gospel reading, the last one in the lectionary. It's for the 21st of November and it's John chapter 18 verses 33 through to 38. So we find that the lectionary has jumped us into the trial of Jesus before Pilate, and it's jumped us out of Mark into John's Gospel. So we pick up the narrative, John 18 verse 33. Then Pilate entered the headquarters again, summoned Jesus and asked him, "Are you the king of the Jews?" Jesus answered, "Do you ask this on your own, or did others tell you about me?" Pilate replied, "I'm not a Jew, am I? Your own nation and the chief priests have handed you over to me. What have you done?" Jesus answered, "My kingdom is not from this world. If my kingdom were from this world, my followers would be fighting to keep me from being handed over to the Jews. But as it is, my kingdom is not from here." Pilate asked, "So you are a king?" Jesus answered, "You say that I'm a king? For this I was born, and for this I came into the world, to testify to the truth. Everyone who belongs to the truth listens to my voice." I don't know how it strikes you, but I've puzzled. I haven't given deep thought to it over the years, but whether Jesus is talking about a spiritual kind of kingdom, a kingdom of spiritual beings that belong to another realm, and that he's saying, I have no supporters in this world, because if I did, they'd be out there supporting me. But I realise as I've reflected on this that I don't think that's what he's saying at all. What he's actually telling us is that the kingdom rules that he operates under are a completely different set of kingdom rules that Pilate and the Jewish people and that the world operates under. He's telling us that the world operates under a zero-sum game kind of kingdom rules. It's where we win by making others lose. And in order for somebody else to win, we or somebody else has to lose. And so that's how the kingdoms of this world operate. They operate by the will to power. They operate by making sure that they're in the driving seat, making sure that they're the winners. Because when they're the winners, it's tragic, it may be sad, it may be unfortunate that other people have to lose, but if you're going to make an omelette, as they say, you've got to break a few eggs. And so for them, the ends will justify the means. It means that in order for us to win, it looks like that others probably have to lose. Jesus tells us that he's not playing that kind of game. He isn't actually promoting that kind of kingdom, the kind of kingdom of this world. And we see this rife everywhere. Even today we see it in the church, the kingdom of this world kind of thinking, where we demand our rights, where we want to make sure that we're the winners. And it seems to me that this is a long way from what Jesus is saying here. Jesus is playing a different kind of game with different rules. Jesus is choosing to lose to their rules so that others can win. Interesting, eh? Because I think that's exactly what's going on. He's saying the kingdoms of this world operate according to these rules. I don't operate that way. In order, though, for the people, for you, Pilate, and for others to actually understand it, you need to win and I need to lose, and I'm okay about losing. Jesus is playing a different game for different rules. He's, as I said, choosing to lose by their rules. In my first parish, which was a long time ago, we were part of a network of youth groups, and I was the younger of the pastors, so I inherited the youth group, and we went off on a camp together. And this camp was up the river road, And on the Saturday night of the camp, I ran a simulation game. It was called Payoff. And it actually operated across a couple of different sets of rules. There was one basic set of rules, but it invited the participants to see what sort of values they were going to play by. And the whole point of the game was to show that if everybody cooperated, we were all winners. Everybody actually had a chance, had an opportunity to prosper, because cooperation meant that there was a synergy involved that everybody benefited from. Now, it's possible to use the zero-sum game rules within this game also, and that if you did that, if you decided that you were going to win and others were going to lose, you would profit initially mightily. The difficulty was that after that, nobody would trust you. If it became clear that that was your game, then we all lost. Everybody lost. Well, what happened in this game is that they twigged that cooperation benefited everybody, all these young people. And what happened is that the stakes with each round of the game kept rising until the very last round, and the stakes were raised tenfold. There was the opportunity for everybody to really benefit and prosper if everybody cooperated, but it also meant that if one out of the 4 teams, because it works on 4 teams, if one of the teams decided to break faith, that they would benefit hugely and all the others would lose. It was very interesting to see what happened. They'd been cooperating well. They got to the last round. They came to the point of declaring their intention, and the last team actually chose to not cooperate. They won bigly at huge cost to relationships. There were 2 young men who were in their early to mid-20s who'd grown up together. They were besties. They had been since they were in kindergarten together. And this created a fight. I mean, a physical fight. It was a furore. And the one who had, because they were on different teams, the one who had opted for cooperation felt completely betrayed by his friend who had opted for the zero-sum game solution. And it ended up in a fist fight. And this young man who felt he'd been betrayed by his friend was deeply wounded. And he was running around. He says, "I thought I knew you. What? I thought I could trust you. Punch." And his former friend was saying, "But it was just a game. It was more than a game. This was about trust." And it was very, very enlightening. There's a sense here that in the game of life that we're invited into, Jesus is showing us we can play by the kingdom of this world rules, or we can play by my kingdom of God rules, which operates on a completely different set of principles, where we all get to prosper. We all get to grow into becoming all we can be, because we're watching out for one another. We're each seeking the best of one another. We're each seeking to grow and to bless one another, rather than simply seeking our own advantage. So when he says, "I came into this world to testify to the truth. Everyone who belongs to the truth listens to my voice," he's talking about those people that get it. that understand what he's offering, understand what he's inviting us into. Now, it doesn't mean that these people are particularly necessarily smart. It doesn't mean that they were born this way, that they had come to testify to the truth that Jesus is on about. It may be through the pain of life that they've come to an awareness, and as they see the way of Jesus and see how life-giving it is, they say, I want what he's got. I want what he's offering. As he says, I've come that you might have life and have it in all its abundance. And recognizing that he's not playing by the rules of the kingdoms of this world. He's playing by a different set of rules, the rules of the kingdom of God, where we all can win. And we win by offering ourselves. And that's exactly what he's done. I want you to think about it. I think that what Jesus is saying here is revolutionary. And it's very, very challenging. Because everything in the world which we live in mitigates and invites us to go in quite a different direction. But this is one that is consistent with the one who, as I said a moment ago, has come that we might have life, experience it in all its fullness. God bless you.